Hey, Soraya.
Hey, Jeff.
How's it going?
It's good.
How's the little king, the nephew?
Oh, he's cutie pie. He is doing great.
Awesome.
Yes.
And we just found out that we're going to have grandbaby number 12, another granddaughter.
Woo-hoo.
Yeah. So we got a house full. So holidays should be fun.
Jeff, I think you should start giving all the grandkids an instrument because you got a hell of a family band.
Yeah. We could be the Partridge Family and the
Cowsills.
all rolled up into one.
All rolled up into one. I love it. That's great. Congratulations.
Awesome.
And to a healthy arrival of number 12.
We love adding to our families, don't we?
Hey, man, it's what makes life interesting, right?
Yes. All right. So today we're concluding our series on side projects by guitar players from the Paisley Underground.
And I think your shirt is the clue to our last one.
Yeah, I'm advertising during the episode.
Yes.
So we did tease that we were going to talk about a side project from one of the guitar players from Rain Parade. So we could have talked about John Thoman project, but no, it's not a John Thoman project. It's not a David Roback project.
I'm racking my brain here. Could it be Matt Pucci?
It could definitely be Matt Pucci.
Yeah. So why don't you let people know what project we're looking at this week?
Yeah. So we're going to talk about Boatclub this week. So I think this is the one that we've talked least about. So last week we talked about Gutterball again. I think that was probably one of the Steve Wynn's projects that we've talked the least about. So we wanted to jump on this Boatclub CD, which is an excellent CD, by the way.
It's amazing. And by the way, readily available, especially via Bandcamp and all your other outlets for purchasing / streaming. So
yes,
worthwhile. This is a great CD. Jeff and I can't rave about it enough. So why don't we get started?
Hi, this is Soraya.
And this is Jeff.
Our podcast is called Paisley Stage Raspberry and Rhyme,
a podcast where the two of us play music that we like and share anecdotes and background about the tunes.
We hope you'll join our conversation. And without further ado, a grooviar.
Let's get groovy. So who exactly is Boatclub is our first question.
Well, we know Matt Pucci.
Yes.
Also, another person from Rain Parade, Mark Hanley.
Yes, who we've had on the show, and we
had on, and his own solo work is fantastic.
Yes, and that reminds me. Can I grab something real quick?
Yeah, go.
Can I have a show and tell moment.
Yeah, do it.
So, Soraya, you are aware as well as I am that Mark Hanley is quite a talented dude.
Oh, yeah.
So I actually have something that he made. So Mark was making little creatures out of mostly music parts, guitar parts.
Yeah.
I have this little wing nut, and
I love that one.
Yeah. So for those who are watching, I got my little creature that I got from Mark. So yeah, if you check out Mark's Facebook page and scroll in the past a bit, you can see some of his creations, which are absolutely fantastic.
And Jeff, am I hallucinating? Always possible. But I think I saw that Mark Hanley said he was working on some new songs.
Yes, I think you're right. Yeah.
And so I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, and we've seen him included in pictures of the Rain Parade
who are working on new music.
Yes.
And Jeff already went to his first club show.
Yes.
Since La Pandemia. And you, me, and quite a few others, we're going to go to a show, big show.
Yes.
on
Slowly
Sunday. I'm so looking forward to it, and I'm ready. I am so ready for live performance. And so knowing that Rain Parade's coming out with more music, a
yes.
road trip could be in our future again, Jeff.
Yes.
Prepare your wife.
Yes, consider us prepared.
Yes.
And is it okay to tease that we've actually seen titles for the Rain Parade tracks?
Look, for me, it's okay. I don't know.
So yeah, if the titles are any indication, it should be a great album.
That's awesome. But okay, so who am I missing? So we've got Mark Hanley, Matt Pucci.
Yep, and then also Tommy Carnes, who is another major songwriter on this, plays guitar, bass,
Yes.
vocals. We'll talk about Tommy in a bit. And then rounding it off is Stefan Hunke, also a member of Rain Parade
Yes.
and Project. So Matt had told us that Boatclub, the Hellenes, the Matt Pucci Band, and Rain Parade are all kind of intermingle. In fact, Thoman isn't credited on this album, but I read that he joined Boatclub at a later point. I think that's probably when they started going by whatever, by another name, the Hellenes
Right.
or rounding out Rain Parade. So we should also add that this band, Boatclub, were the backing band for the Billy Talbot band.
Right.
So there's a Crazy Horse Neil Young connection here, because they that band had backed up Neil Young.
Right.
Billy Talbot was a part of Crazy Horse. So all kinds of connections here with Boatclub.
Right.
So we go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
No, I was saying let's jump into some songs, but
Yeah. Okay. So let's decide on the title we want to go for this. Because let me tell you, on Discogs, on different places where you search for this. First of all, two things come up if you do an internet search, just a FYI. There's Boatclub, one word. That's this band. Then there's Boat Club, two words, completely separate band. But one of the things is I've seen Boatclub by Boatclub. So in some places this CD is referred to as Boatclub by Boatclub. But I think it's safe to call it a self-titled CD.
Agreed. Absolutely. Yeah.
I just find it funny because you do a quick internet search looking for data or whatever, and you just start to see all sorts of kookiness around it.
Yeah.
But I think the best source, go to the Bandcamp page, because that's created and supported by the band itself. And I think that's your word of mouth source.
Yep.
That's your main source. But anyways.
Yep. Agreed.
Okay, Jeff, how many tracks are on this?
Well, it depends.
What do you mean?
It depends what you believe.
Okay, I believe it all, but you tell me.
So if you look at the listing on the back of the CD, there's tracks 2 through 17.
Right.
So that's what's listed. And that would make 16 tracks? But there is a track number 1, Soraya, even though it's not listed.
Right.
So there's an introduction piece that starts off the album. And then there's a bonus track, number 18 that's not listed on the back. So all in all, there's 18 tracks if you throw in the CD or if you jump on Bandcamp. So.
Exactly. And I think this is why I like this release so much. It's because they do give us a lot to listen to.
Yeah.
And they're like, rules, we don't care about no stinking rules. We're just going to we're going to give you what we want to give you. And I like that.
Yeah.
This is a solid listen from track 1, that intro track.
Yeah.
All the way through. And you're getting great songs, really good lyrics, but to me, it's these arrangements, the instruments that just, there's so much. And I think in the choices that you and I have for this week, I think we're showing enough of kind of the scope, or at least the variety that they offer us.
Yep. Agreed.
All right, Jeff. So, inquiring minds want to know, did you pick track number 1, the intro track?
I did not. Although it's a very interesting piece and an interesting way to start out the album that I really enjoyed. And I was very tempted to go with the first real song, I Used to Fly in My Dreams, which is a Tommy Matt co-written piece. It's a beautiful piece. But no, I went with something else.
Okay.
We'll talk about my picks later. But
all right.
Yeah, so let's start off with one of yours. But I did want to mention the album came out in 2008.
Yeah.
Produced by the band and Michael Hamilton and Paul Berolchheimer. So kind of self-produced with the help of those two guys. So just wanted to throw that in before we jump into your first song.
All right. So my first pick is it appears in the listing as track 3, and it's called Love. And so this is written by Tommy Carnes, and also it says U.S. Moore. But here you go. Love. And it's we'll talk about it when we're done.
I will tell you why I love you, why I always want you near, why I look to you for comfort and for words I like to hear, why you are to me an angel whose life is just to make me glad, and I need you when I'm happy just as much as when I'm sad, why I need the love you give me and the love light in your eyes, the loving way you cheer me when the rain fills all my skies, why you are to me an angel whose life is just to make me glad, and I need you when I'm happy just as much as when I'm sad. Just because you are part of me, you are deep within my heart. Life would not be worth living if from you I had to part. Why you are to me an angel whose life is just to make me glad, and I need you when I'm happy just as much as when I'm sad.
Oh my. So that was definitely on my short list of songs to pick too. That's a great pick. Why did you decide to go with that one?
One of the things I liked about the song is this very rhythmic, melodic song that is given to us. And you and I have talked about it before. I'm a sucker for a harmony. And when that harmony comes in right in the chord, it's just beautiful. And it's such a sweet and easy listen. But also the thing about Love is the track before it, I Used to Fly in My Dreams, is like this really kind of trippy song, and and then you come into this very sweet moment. So like for me, it was this interesting change
Oh,
of pace.
a sequencing note.
Well, Jeff, you're the sequencing guy. You're that dude. But and it struck a chord in me. My picks this time are kind of based on how I'm feeling this week.
Mm.
I mean, last week, because now I got this new little nephew, and so like all I'm thinking about is love, 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 and peace, right? And this song like just hit me at the right moment. But it's really beautiful, and that guitar, Jeff, not a musician, but that part in the bridge where it's like ding, did it like the picking on that guitar. I'm like, is that it sounds like a 12 string, but I'm guessing it's probably a 6.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right.
But it's like those parts of the song are just really melodic and beautiful, and like it's just like a warm hug. I like that song.
Yeah, you mentioned warm. I think the production of it is very warm. I really like the production of it, the way that the acoustics sound, and yeah, the arrangement is just great. But it definitely has a nice warm feel to it. And
Yes.
why wouldn't a song called Love have a warm production quality?
I would hope it would, and not be like, sappy goodness, but
Yeah,
like,
and then
beautiful.
towards the end of the song, they even added in some very sparse hand claps, which I thought was a nice touch. Yeah, didn't overdo it at all. So it's like every other measure, they had a little hand clap in it. So the whole song probably has 6 hand claps in it. Maybe. But anyways, I thought that was cool and a great song. And Tommy Karn's voice, I love that style of singing. It almost reminds me of Robert Pollard from Guided by Voices a little bit. There's some quality about his voice, and I love that style of singing where it's not like picture perfect, but it's very, I don't know, it feels heartfelt to me.
Yes.
Those kind of voices.
And if you think about it, I think now, especially with what you hear on the radio, so much is like just overproduced, over saturated in altering and stuff. And this is just pure.
Yep.
Like pure lyrics, stripped down, and it's just wholesome.
Totally.
Good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Totally agree. And Tommy has his own solo album. I don't own it. When I tried to look for it, looks like it's difficult to find, at least in the US here. But I'm interested to seek that out after hearing what he's done on these Boatclub songs. So
yeah, I think we may have to reach out to Tommy and see if he can help us.
Hook a brother and sister up.
All right, Jeff. So okay, so I'm the first bread in the sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're going to be the meat.
Yes.
Okay, so tell us what we're going to listen to now.
So are you asking me to tell you things?
Yes.
Okay, so the name of it, the first track that I'm picking is "Tell Me Things."
There you go.
And it's a co-written piece by Matt and Mark. And you could hear vocally when you hear the song, you'll definitely hear their influences on this. But I'm going to play 2 songs, which is something I don't think we've ever done, 2 songs together. And the reason why I'm doing that is they just flow perfectly. Again, it's one of those sequencing things. And I just didn't have the heart in me to break them up. So I was either going to use this as one piece and then choose another song. And I was like, okay, that's a little bit too much to sneak in 3 songs in our 2-song format. But so I'm going to play both of my songs together, starting with Tell Me Things, the co-written piece. We'll talk about the second piece afterwards. But the refrain, I don't know if it's a chorus or a refrain. The words are the common saying, "It's all good fun until someone loses an eye," Soraya. So I felt like I had an obligation to play Tell Me Things, because as you know, as a child when I was 5, I had an eye injury and lost most of the vision. I'm legally blind in my left eye when me and the old guy on the street, the 7-year-old, hit me with a stick while we were sword fighting. I lost that fight, but we were having great fun until I lost an eye. But anyways, it's a great song nonetheless, but I felt an obligation just because of that refrain in the lyrics. Mark Hanley, as we've talked about, has fabulous solo albums himself. Great songwriter, great voice, tremendous talent. The guy plays so much stuff.
He plays so many different instruments. There's
Yeah.
nothing he can't play. I'm convinced.
Yeah, and I'm not exactly sure who plays what on this particular song, but we do know on the album that there's some melodica, there's some mandolin, auto harp. You hear a lot of different sounds,
Right.
and who knows who's playing what on all these, but we do know that Mark plays pretty much everything, so wouldn't be surprised. So anyways, I'm gonna play my 2 tracks now, starting with Tell Me Things, and then the song that it sequences into we'll talk a little bit about afterwards. So here's Tell Me Things and another song.
Tell me things. Maybe you know the sound. It's more important than words. Maybe we got it down. Fighting against our nerve. You run me round like a jackal to the slaughter. Yeah, then you
So there's those two. I just did not have the heart to break those two up. So there's those little, I don't know, children's voices. It almost sounds like a child's song just before she's giving me a flower comes in. So she's giving me a flower is the second piece. Tell me things. I really like Matt's and Mark's voices in there. And I'm really curious, it being a co-write, if it was one of those kind of things where like a Lennon McCartney thing where they both had some ideas and then they brought them together and they mixed it together, if they sat in a room together and wrote it out. But either way, hearing their two voices in there is just great. She's giving me a flower. Sorry, you might have to help me on here, but in my
We've talked about this song before,
right,
because I like this song a lot. So
yeah.
I fully endorse your pick. But
thank you.
okay, so
Did Matt tell us that she's giving me a flower was a true story about the love of his life, Stephanie, and that this actually happened? Or was Beautiful Flower about Stephanie? I'm confused now. But I knew that there was a flower song that Matt wrote.
I seem to recall that She's Giving Me a Flower is inspired by a real life event.
Yes, I think that's what I think.
And to me, I like the guitars on this song and the lyrics, to me, it's a very beautiful song, but to know that it has a connection to an actual event,
Yes.
it makes it even more special.
Yeah.
I like this song a lot, and I'm looking at the track list. Tell Me Things is track 12, and She's Giving Me a Flower, number 13.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of down there, but
yeah,
both of these songs, I really like the story behind it. I like the lyrics behind it. But yeah,
another thing
real
about
world events.
Yeah, that's how I remembered it. And another thing I really liked about the song is the arrangement, which Matt is really good at doing, where the kind of the drums and the backbeat kind of drop out. And that's something that we love about Rain Parade, which you'll hear often, especially like in the bridges or sometimes in the chorus, where just everything will drop or the tempo will drop. And
Right.
we get a little bit of that with, the backbeat dropping out and just having this vibe, and then comes right back into it, and it's like I don't know, like a tug of war kind of thing, where it's a push and a pull. And I don't know, with the lyrics, She's Giving Me a Flower, to me, like there's an emotional aspect to that too, with the music, where it's that it has the beat and then it drops, and it's like, I don't know, emotionally that plays with me in a good way, where it's like, oh, where it drops and it's like, yay, she's giving me a flower. And anyways, it's a great piece, and solely a Matt song. Anyways, so yeah, did not have the heart to break those two up. So
I'm glad you didn't, because they do transition into one into the other seamlessly. So I'm glad you didn't stop it. You let us get connected.
Yeah, even though I had to like go outside of our normal format here and play both of my tracks together, but
it's okay. We've done it before.
Have I? Yeah. Okay. All right.
So my last pick is track 17. So it's a bit further down.
Yeah, according to this, it's the last track, but
but we both know that there's something right after it.
Yeah.
And just an FYI, so on Discogs, that track 18 is called Contract Violation, which I think is very appropriate.
Right.
Simply because it just shows up. Yeah. But anyways, my second pick is called Complacent Americans. So I don't know, my brain was just kind of, I will not get into my own thoughts about what's going on inside my country, but this song is stellar. So let's hear it. We'll talk about it after.
What's going on at the end of that song, Soraya?
Ooh, all sorts of things.
Yeah.
So Complacent Americans, written by the credit is Mark Hanley and Matt Pucci. I stinking love this song because one, you get these great guitars, right? Driving guitars. But then you hear organ, keyboard, farfisa. I don't know, but that like pops in and it like changes the song for me. And I'm like, wait. And I remember the first time I heard it, I said, wait, am I hearing what I think I'm hearing? Because it's like all these layers of sounds. And then add on to it this really cool vocal, and it's a stinking cool song.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why are you so far down in the track? And then I go, well, if this is my outro, I'm okay with it. And then at the end, you get this really interesting mix.
Yeah.
I like this song so much. It's so good.
Yeah. It's a great way to close out the album.
But it doesn't close it.
Well, it depends, right?
It doesn't stinking close
No.
it. There's one more to go.
Okay. So it's the penultimate.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go. One of the things I find really interesting is the mix of song lengths on this album. So you've got a couple of songs over 4 minutes, a couple of songs over 3, and then a bunch in the under 3 minute range.
Mm-hmm.
So this is different. This is different.
Yeah.
Because you and I like Rain Parade songs, that, take more than 2 minutes or 3, and have these great pieces and add-ons to it. It's one of these things that it just catches you by surprise because you're so into listening, and then you go, wait, I'm already on track 5. How'd that happen?
Yeah. I'm wondering if that was an intentional plan. We're going to sit down, because a lot of times with Rain Parade songs or Helene songs, you have these longer intros and a more of a musical building up.
Right.
These are more concise songs. I wonder if the band actually sat down and were like, and came up with a plan. We're gonna write these songs, or we're gonna have these songs that are more concise, without these longer buildups or longer introductions or longer musical pieces. So I don't know. Good point. Good point.
We're gonna have to ask, but this is such a really fun listen. It's a pleasant listen.
Yeah,
Start
absolutely.
to end, start to finish.
Yeah, and it's widely available, like Soraya mentioned. So sometimes we've had a couple episodes where we've talked about records where they're not even available, right? Where
Right.
you can't even find them. So
Right.
and this is not the case with Boat Club. So not Boat Club, but Boat Club.
And I think it just bears repeating. Remember that if this is something that you don't have and are looking to add, take advantage of First Fridays on Bandcamp, and which support your favorite artists and bands, and they're still waiving some of their fees and letting the performers keep a majority of what they sell.
I love that.
So, hold off. Right now you and I are recording, it's November, holidays are coming. If someone wants to give it to you for Christmas, tell them to wait until one of the First Fridays, and that way everybody wins.
Yes, agreed.
Yes. But this was a really good album.
Yep, agreed. I liked the series. I thought it was fun looking at some of these records that I think need to be talked about.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Jeff, as much as I don't want to say it, I guess that's it for today. Mi gente, agruviar.
Groove on, Paisley people.
Falling gone. That's when she belongs. It's so true. It's so true.